Once you've registered with iRecord for an account, it's worth logging in and checking the account settings. So in this video, we're going to go through the account settings and I'm going to teach you how to change them to make sure they're right for how you want to interact with iRecord. So I'm on the home page here and we can see the menu bar at the top. To the right here, we've got an option that says My Account, and this is how we access the settings. So when we click on that, it brings up some very basic information about our account: first name, last name, user ID, and confirmation that we're aged 13 or over. If we want to see the full suite of settings and edit them, then we need to click on Edit here. Now that will bring up a page with many more options. So we're just going to walk through them bit by bit. So at the top here, we've got the key information, your username and your email address. If you want to change your email address or your password, then you will need to put in your current password and then your new password and confirm your password in order to do that. And to make any changes, you would always need to scroll to the bottom of the settings page and click Save to accept them. So moving down, we've also got this section, license for your photos and other media. So it's important to note that these licenses only cover the photographs or sound recordings or anything like that that you upload. They don't actually cover the biological record. That is covered by the iRecord terms and conditions, which are down here. And your biological record, which is the who, what, where, when, is available to a number of different organisations within the biological recording community, including the UK Centre for Ecology and Hydrology, who administer iRecord through the Biological Record Centre. It's also available to organisations like national recording schemes and societies and local environmental record centres. So back to these Creative Commons licenses. So they cover our photos. Now it's really up to you what you want to put on your photos. Some people might want to use their photos professionally and sell them. So in that case, you would put an all rights reserved on there so that people can't use your photos. But if, like me, you're really not bothered about people using your photos for whatever purpose, then you can put one of these less restrictive Creative Commons licenses. So I've chosen a Creative Commons by attribution license, CC BY. And my reason for that is I'm happy for people to use my media for anything they want, whether it's commercial, non-commercial, I don't mind, just so long as it's credited as my image. Even though, to be honest, most of my images are not that great. But to give you an example, I've used these for what would be considered a commercial purpose before. So I've used other people's photos on iRecord that have a relevant Creative Commons license that enables me to use it for commercial purposes. That commercial purpose was an ID course that was based on butterflies and moths. And using real photos from iRecord enabled me to put together an ID quiz that was based much more on real life pictures. Some of them were quite blurry, difficult to see, but you could still identify the species. So I've chosen this license because I want people to be able to do a similar thing. The more use of my photos, the better. User interface options, I've just left this as user default settings for each page. I think that's probably best for beginners. Email notification settings. So this is something that you might want to tweak. This enables you to control how much contact via email you have with iRecord. So you can set the email digest frequency to never, hourly, daily, weekly, or use the advanced settings below. So I use the advanced settings below because I have different preferences for different types of communication from iRecord. So if I click on here, advanced notification settings, I have a list of the different types of emails that iRecord might send me. So for example, there are emails about queried records of mine, about redetermined records, about comments on my records. And what I've done is for anywhere I want to know ASAP, I've put hourly. For others that I'm not so bothered about, but I'd still like to be notified, I want them to be grouped together in daily emails. And for things that I'm really not fussed about receiving an email about, because I get enough emails in my inbox, I'll set it to never. But it's really up to you, really up to you. The next thing on this page is training mode, and it's very tempting when you first start out to tick that because you don't want to make mistakes, etc. What you need to know about training mode is that ticking that box will mean that anything that you put into iRecord once you're in training mode will not count. iRecord assumes that you're making things up to have a play with the system and learn how to do it. So if you submit data while in training mode, in order for that to actually go into the system and be shared with the verifiers, etc., you'd need to go back into your settings, turn training mode off, and re-enter all the data. So I don't recommend using training mode. I think you can practice with real records instead. So the next box is for Google Analytics settings, and that's to enable the website managers to be able to look at where you're coming into iRecord from, etc. Now I've ticked to enable user tracking because I'm happy for my data to be used in ways that might help develop the site. So I've ticked that. Confirm that you're age 13 or over. That's the minimum age for iRecord, so I've obviously ticked that because I'm way over that age. Then you've got my name, my first name, my surname. The next two boxes really are to enable iRecord to show you personalized content on the homepage, etc. So the first one is what you record. So this is a long list of species groups where you can tick which ones you're interested in. So when iRecord shows you recent records on the homepage, it will show you records from the boxes that you've ticked. So I'm an earthworm specialist. Earthworms belong to the segmented worms, the annelids. So I've ticked that box because that's what I'm most interested in seeing on my homepage. You can also give iRecord a little bit of experience, a little bit of information about your recording experience. So I've got the information there for me. Right, I'm going to close that box and then we'll look at where you record. So this enables you to tell iRecord that you've got a specific vice county that you record in. Now, as national recorder for earthworms, I'm quite often going all over the place, recording in different vice counties. And in particular, my home stomping ground, if you will, is London, which is made up of 4 vice counties, and I'm regularly going to different ones. So I've not put a setting on there, but if you frequently record within a specific vice county, it might be worth adding that in. And then finally, you've got the terms and conditions. So this is all the detail of all the rules, etc., that you're signing up to when you tick the box and accept the terms and conditions of use, which you will have done when you signed up to iRecord, because you need to be able to register your account. So this explains in more detail the things I said about the use of data, etc. It is well worth reading it because it will help you understand how the data is going to be used. And then that brings us to the end. When you want to change when you want to save any changes, don't forget to tick that save button. Okay, and that's it for this tutorial.